right, so we're attaching these snaps, and we're going to start on the one that's in front with the buttonholes. And I've already marked here 1 centimeter, 1 centimeter from the top and from the edge, which isn't exactly the center front, because the center front is 1.5 back, of course. So we're being a little bit closer to the edge because we don't want that flap to now open up. That's the whole reason we're putting snaps here. So starting with my needle, 4 cottons, and I've got just one single small knot at the bottom, and I want my knot to be in the center of that X, exactly where I want I'm going to put the male one here on top for personal reasons. So I'm just going in the center and then coming out diagonal and not catching anything on this side. So now I'm going to place this exactly over the center with the hole here on 1/4. Now the string is on the outside. I'm going to go outside to inside, loop over the back, and pull towards the outside this way. Now, because I've got 4, I don't have to do so many. I'm just going to do 2 in each hole. Inside to outside, loop over the back, tie my knot. So it's going to make like a nice, neat little knot over there. Then I've got my 2 there. I'm going to travel from this one, to the other hole, and again be on the outside. Now I'm going to do 1 extra stitch here, just because I'm extra. I think we can skip that, to be honest. That's a bit too extra, even for me. But then again, outside to inside, through the hole, and then around the back. I'm going to do it twice, outside to inside. So this is the same as a, what do you call it, a hook and bar, anything like that. Always going outside to inside. So now traveling again to the outside of the hole, outside to inside, around the back. Make sure that my knot knots neatly. Outside to inside, around the back. Check the knot is neat. And then pass to the last hole. Again, outside to inside, making sure we're not catching anything from the front layer. Tie the knot, outside to inside, tie the knot. Okay, so to tie off, a lot of different ways. I'm just going to tie in this, kind of come backwards behind that knot, and then just do 3 back stitches along the edges here, because this knots off pretty well. 1 more for good luck. So that's the first part done. Now the female on the bottom side, this one I haven't marked because I just like to double check myself. So this one, same place as the buttons. And this one you'll see it's 2 centimeters back, because that one is only 1 centimeter and it should be 1.5. So we have to shift this one a little bit further back. And then 1 centimeter, but not 1 centimeter from here, because it has to be 1 centimeter from the edge here. So 1 centimeter down there, and then 2 centimeters back. And we can always double check by placing it like so, seeing, okay, that's going to snap there. And this should just have a small gap there, and that should all line up quite neatly. So 2 centimeters from the edge, 1 centimeter down, and then straight. And this one, same story, 4 cottons, small knot, dead center of that X and coming up diagonally. And this one's going all the way through. And then placing our female, dead center, over that knot, again outside to inside, around the back. So this, it really is not going to kill anyone if you just do a whip stitch. The one big advantage with this is because each one has a knot, the whole thing is more secure. I don't know if you've experienced, but sometimes if you just do a whip stitch and one thread comes loose, soon, very soon the whole thing is loose. So now I'm going to pass to the other side, but then I'm going to do in between the layers. I'm not going to pass a long thread around the back here. That would just be untidy. So between the layers, passing to the next hole, obviously on the outside. And of course, the big advantage of this is also that, it just looks beautiful, which is the whole point of couture. So this I'm, stitching all the way through to the back, so it's nice and secure. Outside to inside, around the back. So yeah, nothing too exciting about this, just passing along between the layers to the other hole. Again, outside to inside, and this time catching all the layers around the back. Outside to inside, catching all the layers around the back. Passing between the layers to the last hole. And again, outside to inside, through all the layers, around the back. Outside to inside, through all the layers, around the back. And then to knot off again, we can pass behind that knot. And then just 3 back stitches along the edges. This really prevents, because a knot can very easily start wiggling itself free. So if you have a knot exposed anywhere, it likes to wiggle free from there, but the back stitches prevent that from happening. Okay, and then lastly, obviously we're going to double check. Okay, and then that's going to snap there. Fabulous. Now, one big problem is that this is always curling up like this because these 2 layers are not connected. So I prepared this needle, which is just 2 double threads, or I mean just a double thread, just 2 cottons. This one, quite a big knot because I don't want this knot to come undone. Going to just with my fingers get that nice and flat. And then I'm going to stitch a prick stitch kind of in a little half moon like that. So I'm actually in a way folding this a little bit forward so that, because I don't want that to happen. I don't want it to like fold out from the collar. So with my fingers, I'm just folding it forwards into the corner. Then here, just coming up right there. I'm just going to do a very, very tiny stitch there. 1 or 2 threads. And at the back also quite small. We don't want this to be too obvious. So you see there, we're just doing like a prick stitch, almost like we do the de-stitching or any other decorative prick stitch. Just very, very tiny, very, very neat in this little half moon shape, folding that point of the collar into the body. I'm going to do one more for fun. Then pass back. And then here we again need a nice big knot so that it doesn't end up accidentally popping out. So I'm going to just do that. And then I'll just tuck in my edges. Again, 3 back stitches. It's kind of my lucky process. What is this? Just some randomness. Here we go. And that's that. Fashion baby.